What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. It is a live stream, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a short one because there's not too much to unpack here. A lot to kind of look at in the future, maybe in the next day or so, to really see what's happening. But the Ethereum mainnet Shapella upgrade is officially live. It's been live for about an hour now. So we can take a look at kind of some of the statistics we have so far on how it is performing. So let me go ahead and okay, so it's right here. So the validator exiting queue is currently 3,554 validators in line to exit Ethereum, to take their Ethereum plus their profits out. We can also take a look over here on Beacon Chain. The number of withdrawals in ETH is right here. I think this is what already happened, right? So we have about 11,396 Ethereum worth of withdrawals. Let me get my calculator out. Right here, and we'll say 11,396. We're going to divide that by 32 Ethereum, which is going to give us about 356 validators have already exited, according to Beacon Chain, and we have 3,544 left. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more math here. We're going to add 3,544 plus, what was it? 356 plus 356. And we're going to get a total of 3,900 validators. Altogether, at least according to this data so far, we're going to multiply that by 32 to see exactly how much Ethereum that is. That's 124,800 Ethereum, and we can multiply that by approximately $2,000, which means that today, as of this very second, with the amount of Ethereum that has been released, plus the amount of Ethereum that is going to be released in the queue, we're looking at about $249,600,000. Now, my math might be way off there, so do be cautious with my numbers there. But that's just in the first hour alone. Not really the first hour, but the first hour of plus the amount in the queue worth of exiting. So I'm going to try and refresh this. This chart did tell us exactly how long that was going to take. I think the last estimate was about 15 hours. I have to find another chart to give me the exact number. Yeah, so it says only 8 validators can exit per epoch, and I forget how many epochs there are per day. So it's not like this number that we're seeing right here is going to be available immediately. This $249,600,000 is going to be available immediately, but it is going to take some time for that to go through. So we can also take a look at CoinGecko and see what the price of Ethereum is. Right now, Ethereum is sitting at $1,924, actually up 1.8%. A lot of anticipation for these withdrawals. So those are just the hard numbers of kind of what's happening here. Again, it's going to take a lot longer, like at least 24 hours, to really paint a picture of how many people are exiting Ethereum. Is the amount of validators increasing, decreasing, or staying the same on average overall over a certain period of time? That's going to take some time and some data to actually figure that out. Now, if you missed my last video, I would highly recommend you watch my last video about Ethereum and my prediction about kind of what could happen in the next couple weeks or so. I'm going to sort of summarize some of those main points here. You guys can tell me whether or not you disagree or agree with me. One of the things is I think that this is going to be a bullish event for Ethereum. I think that as people are exiting out of the system and exiting successfully without any problems or hiccups, I think that's going to create a lot of confidence in Ethereum overall. And I think that is going to bring a lot of people who have been sitting on the sidelines, a lot of massive mega whales who don't necessarily want to go through the trouble of staking and having illiquid Ethereum where they might need it for something if they're putting in hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or just thousands of Ethereum to stake. Now they're able to do this, and especially in the next week or so, they can get a more reasonable timeline of how liquid their funds are. How long will it take for them to withdraw out of the network? A lot of that's going to be seen in the next well, we could say day, but I mean, the first couple days is going to be a little bit wonky in terms of how many people are exiting. But at least in the first week or couple weeks, we can get a real estimate on what is the amount of time it's going to take if you press the withdrawal button. How long will it take for you to be able to get the 32 Ethereum back plus the amount that you've earned? And that's going to be very valuable information, like I said, for those mega whales. And those mega whales that lock up that Ethereum right now, I think, these numbers I don't have offhand, but it was like 14% or something like that of total Ethereum that's staked. These mega whales that are sitting on a lot larger numbers might decide to stake that Ethereum and earn off of that. So that's one thing. Another thing you can talk about with mega whales, I mean, this isn't really the case for the United States. Excuse me, not United States exchanges, because they're really being regulated to death, but exchanges that are outside of the United States, this might be considered a shady practice. But I mean, it's something that banks do all the time. Banks invest your money when you put your money inside of a normal bank. So I'm thinking that exchanges that have an estimate of what their outflows of Ethereum are can probably take a lot of the Ethereum that is on their exchange and stake it on their own to earn some APY that way. And I think that will also contribute to the amount of Ethereum locked up, the trust in the system overall. A little bit of shady business from exchanges for locking up your Ethereum and earning off of your Ethereum, but I do think that is a practice that's going to happen, especially since that Ethereum can be liquid now. If it takes 24 hours, 48 hours to be able to get to pull some or most or all of that Ethereum out, if they need it, if there's like a sort of a bank run on the exchange, people are really sucking their Ethereum out. They could put a waiting period of about 1 or 2 days, and nobody will suspect a difference, and they'll be able to earn APY on people's entered Ethereum. So that's just another point to make that I think is going to happen. Again, probably not with exchanges like Coinbase, maybe even not with Binance, but definitely with these smaller exchanges that still have huge amounts of Ethereum deposited into them. I think they're going to be doing staking and continuing to offer it as is. And then we have other things like liquid staking. So liquid staking is things like Lido, right? Lido and not Avalanche, Rocket Pool. These are coins that I think there's a lot of other protocols that will be developed for non-mega whales. Like we talked about the mega whales, but the people with smaller amounts of Ethereum, since we have liquidity now, Ethereum that's able to go in and out of the system, I think there's going to be plenty of protocols that are developed where we have people that can deposit smaller amounts of Ethereum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ethereum, and get APY on that, and be able to pull that out in a reasonable amount of time if they decide to do that. So those of you who are sitting on small amounts of Ethereum in your MetaMask wallet or wherever you put it, and have been sitting on that for months at a time, and you're going to continue to sit on it for months at a time, you're not going to sell it or move it around or exchange it or do anything with it for a while, I think that is going to be a factor in people deciding to stake, smaller fish deciding to stake, which again, all of this stuff that I've mentioned so far accounts to stronger network security, stronger price correlation as that Ethereum is locked up, and stronger confidence in Ethereum overall. As far as the negatives are concerned, I mean, that remains to be seen. We'll see if this validator XQ really skyrockets in the next couple days. That could be a pretty big negative, especially if we see the price kind of go along with it. That might mean that there's a lack of confidence in Ethereum. Somehow that people that were staking for a long time hated it and they want to leave and go somewhere else. We'll see if that's the case as well. I doubt it, but there's not really that much evidence that points to people that are staking hate it that much right now, in my opinion. Right. So, let's take a look at some more statistics here. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this particular live stream because I think the real juicy bits are going to come in the next couple days with this system, with the results of this. So I'm going to go to more, take a look at some of the charts here on Beacon Chain. Yeah, so what we're going to be looking at in the future in the next week or so are these charts. So the one important chart is the history of daily active validators. This number could only ever go up, right? Since the beginning. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, as you can see, it never really goes down. It only rises. I'm trying to see if there's any point in which the number dips even a little bit. Right here, it might dip a little bit right here, 242. No, I think it still only goes up. It just goes up a smaller amount. But yeah, so since its inception, you can't really exit validators. I mean, you could, but there was almost an anti-reason to do that because you can't get the money out. So this line could only go up. So this is something that's going to be interesting to look at in the longer term to see how is this line going to be affected, because now this line has two directions. It can go down as well. You can have a decrease in validators since people are going to be able to exit. If you see this line just go straight down, that's probably not a very good thing for Ethereum. Like I said, I doubt that we'll see something like that happen. If you see this number spike up at a more vertical angle, then again, that's going to be very, very good. And I think this is, let me see, yeah, so this is right here where the first point in which we're seeing the number of validators decrease as people prepare to exit. Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting chart to look at, history of daily active validators. And the other thing to note, guys, is some things that people often forget when it comes to these validators is well, when people start selling and exiting, it's all bad news. It's all very, very bad. Well, not necessarily. Even if this line dips a little bit, if the history of daily active validators goes down a little bit, you have to understand that the APY for the people that remain in the system goes up. In the same case, if it goes down significantly, the APY goes up significantly. So there's incentive for the number of daily active validators to continue to, at the very least, stay the same. And the inverse is true. If we have a massive, massive spike in validators, if we have 80% of Ethereum get staked, then the APY is going to drop drastically. And that might cause people to say, this isn't worth it anymore. I'd rather have liquid Ethereum than just earning pennies a day. So that's kind of how this whole system works. If you guys are completely curious of, I don't understand any of this stuff, that's how it sort of supports itself. The more validators there are, the less you're going to be making in terms of dollars in Ethereum. It's going to be distributed to more people, obviously, and it's going to de-incentivize it. But it also is going to affect the price. Like I said before, if you have 80% of Ethereum staked, even though the distribution of Ethereum is going to be significantly less to each individual person, the confidence in the network should be a lot higher if you have 80% of the Ethereum staked, which means the price of Ethereum should be a lot higher too. So even though you're getting a smaller piece of that pie, the dollar value should be the same, if not higher, which equates to the price of Ethereum going up a lot to support the increase in validators. So that's one of the reasons why people are, this is a simple reason to explain why people are bullish on withdrawal unlocks in general and increasing the increase of validators. So that chart is important. Blocks proposed, I think this should stay pretty much the same, so we're not really going to see too many different block proposals there. Staked Ether, this is another one. Again, it's pretty much the same as the number of daily active validators. I mean, these are just the same charts, except the one's divided by 32. Validator balance. This will be an interesting one too, because I mean, I don't know. It's going to be very hard to predict what the validator balance means for the health of the system and the health of the price overall of Ethereum, because people are going to want to withdraw their daily rewards. And I have to look into exactly how people do that, if they can do that partially instead of exiting all 32 Ethereum. But yeah, this will be an interesting one to see for the price, I guess, as everyone's going to have access to what they have beyond 32 Ethereum. Let's see. Network liveliness, participation rate, stake effectiveness. Stake effectiveness will be another interesting one. I don't want to get too much into that because it gets a little confusing for stake effectiveness. Income distribution, that might be interesting too. This is one that I definitely want to look at, is the daily amount of deposited Ethereum. So obviously in the last day, we didn't have that much Ethereum deposited because this was right before withdrawals, and a lot of things, they were kind of not so good on the day before and the day of massive changes to the network. That's why you don't see a huge amount of deposits today. But especially for the next couple weeks, I'm interested to see if we're going to have a lot more deposits because, again, of that confidence of being able to withdraw. So these numbers, these little lines might be very small compared to what we're going to see in the next month or so. Or will everything remain the same? I mean, that'll be really interesting too if everything if nothing changes. I'm not sure if anybody made that prediction, but we'll see. Pool distribution. This will be an interesting one to see in like the maybe 6 months out. Right now we have like Lido, Coinbase. I don't know what this unknown is, whoever this is. This used to be known. I thought this was Lido for the pool distribution. Maybe it's Binance. But regardless, having more pools available for people, like right now we have Rocket Pool and Lido are the main like liquid stakers, but having more liquid staking options available for the smaller fish should help this distribution a little bit more. We don't like to have these giant chunks of the pie because that could lead to bad things in the network overall. So hopefully that gets solved. These are just normal numbers you can look at on CoinMarketCap, the ether supply, the market cap, block gas usage. You can find better charts other places. So these don't really matter that much in terms of the Shapella upgrade. But yeah, withdrawals is kind of the last one. We took a look at withdrawals already. Currently sitting at 15,097. That's a pretty big increase. So yeah, as you can see, people are starting to really understand how to do these withdrawals. And I mean, this number is obviously just going to go up all day because people are pressing the withdrawal button. And this, I don't think this includes the amount in the queue, right? So 15,097 Ethereum has already been withdrawn. And if we reload this again, the validator exiting queue is 4,360. Right, so I'm going to be personally, I'm not going to look at all of that data. All that data I'm going to look at in the next, like I said, week or so. The main thing I'm going to look at is just the exiting queue over the next day. Hopefully this number stays not pretty much the same. It doesn't go increasingly crazy, super high, because that just means everybody's leaving Ethereum, leaving staking. But yeah, we'll see what happens with how many people decide to exit. What are they going to do after they exit? I know in my comments section, some people said that if people are exiting Ethereum, they're likely not just to sell the USD, they're likely to just sell the Bitcoin. So that's going to still not impact the overall crypto market that much. We'll see. We will see. Anyway, I think I'll end off there. Maybe we'll do another live stream tonight. I have some things that I need to attend to right now. But one of the things I definitely do want to talk about, I want to talk about what's next for Ethereum, because that's always on people's minds. Like, we just had massive upgrades, which are pretty huge deals, but then oftentimes people just get really short-sighted right after something happens. They're like, what's next? What's the next gem? What's the next shiny object? So there are some shiny objects coming up for Ethereum in the long run. But honestly, it does take patience. A lot of this stuff, you have to just wait. Especially with these upgrades. These upgrades, they don't like change much overnight. It takes weeks or months to really see the effects of these upgrades. Right, so we will stop there, guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, a lot to unpack there. So I've given you guys a lot to take a look at in the future if you guys want to look at this on your own. Beacon Chain is the main website with all those charts. You can just Google it, Beacon Chain. It'll be the first result that pops up. Beacon.chain, beaconcha.in is what the website is. And the other website that I'm looking at to look at the validator exiting queue is WinMerge. I'm sure there's better websites than this that are out for just keeping track of this stuff. I didn't really have time to sleuth out those websites for today, but yeah, we're looking forward to that. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're not a member of Patreon, consider becoming a member of Patreon to get access to some of my videos earlier than everyone else on YouTube. I already just put out another video on e-gold for my Patreons that is going to come out for YouTube later tonight in about maybe 8 hours or so. So looking forward to that one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm not sure if I have any comments today. I think everyone's probably still at work. So I'll see you guys in the future. Adios.